Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, and we're asking what exactly is contact tracing and what happens to our data. EPSoft Chairman and CEO Gopal Parvathaneni joins me to discuss. Gopal, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, and pleasure to be with you.
All right, let's learn more about EPSoft and what virtual PPE is.
Yeah, so EPSoft, as a company, what we provide is automation solutions, whether it is process automation or data automation solutions. But looking at what is happening around the globe, we thought we need to come up with something that actually helps businesses to reopen. So partnering with a Liberty Advisor group, we came up with a solution, which is basically a wellness and risk management platform called virtual PPE.
And what exactly is contact tracing, though? I feel like that word is thrown out there a lot, as well as PPE, and I don't think we understand exactly what it is.
Yeah, I know you're hearing a lot about government-sponsored contact tracing right now. In public health, contact tracing is the process of identification of persons who may have come into contact with an infected person and subsequent collection of further information about these contacts. But the government contact tracing versus the contact tracing within a business risk management platform are very different. So platforms like virtual PPE enables employers with on-demand contact tracing so that they can proactively manage workforce wellness and risk. The solution has a complementing mobile app that helps to protect employees by providing them with notifications to maintain some things like social distancing norms set forth by CDC by means of proximity alerts. So employees will be able to maintain a symptom journal every day that instructs them what to do when they have one or more symptoms. The platform also generates risk score for every employee based on several factors like their own symptoms, location, and the type of work they do actually.
So how does contact tracing work in a business to reduce liability? I would imagine management teams and business owners are concerned about that risk and what they'll be liable for. If you're asking your employees to come back to work and they get sick and infect the workforce, I'd be concerned about that. So what will contact tracing do to alleviate some of that risk?
Yeah, I think the biggest question we are trying to answer to most of these business owners is, what do they do in the event some of their employees or one of their employees is infected by this disease? So in the event someone in the workforce is infected by this deadly disease, all the other employees of the organization who might have been exposed to that individual will get alerts to either self-quarantine so that they can take some additional safety measures or get tested sooner than later. This will also help businesses to continue to operate without much disruption by identifying the subset of employees who might have been exposed so they can notify them to stay home while others can continue to work. These are some of the benefits, and there are other insights that the platform offers, like predictive risk reports, insights based on their location, if they have business in more than one location. When it comes to liability, I think by implementing solutions like this, it shows that the employer is doing everything possible within their capacity to protect their workforce. Businesses, in general, need to protect both their employees and manage their own liability as well. By using technology, we can help them, we can help employees track COVID symptoms, manage their accessibility to buildings, understand their locations within buildings, who they have been in contact with, etc. This also helps businesses manage for employee safety and manage their own liability. It helps employers and building managers reduce the risk of people being in human spaces because they can identify if and when there is a concern and they can shut it down quickly in the event something really, drastic happened there. So this platform in general complements very well with other measures. Most employees are planning to incorporate, like whether it is thermal scanning, sanitization of workplaces, providing PPE and redesigning their workspaces that can help maintain social distancing. So this by no means is a replacement of all of that, but it's by adding this as a complement to the other things that they're already planning to do will definitely help reduce their liability and will also help their employees to be a lot more safer.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable to see just how quickly the technology has allowed companies such as yours and management teams pivot so quickly with the shutdown. Now we have to think about coming back to work. And to wrap up here, what do you think the workplace impact will be for employees? I mean, we've been out of the office for 10 weeks now, and even when we start to go back, we're used to being social and working with our teams and meeting with our clients and interacting between the offices, but we're going to have to maintain that 6 feet of social distance and not congregate in the kitchens. What are your thoughts around the impact to the workplace?
Yeah, I think businesses in general, they definitely have to do some restructuring, whether it is the design of the workspace or, providing them different options to work. Not all businesses have the option to work remotely. There are some businesses that definitely need their, workforce to come back to their workplace. So in that situation, they have to, adapt to some of these technologies that actually can help, at least notify them when they're getting too close to a person, right? Or notify them when they're actually exposed to an infected disease, because the worst part of this disease is it's very asymptomatic. So in the event somebody is really infected, we may or may not know at least until like 2 to 3 weeks in some cases. So in order to, maintain a log of who they actually met, you know, like last week or 2 weeks, it's almost impossible. We're not talking about one employee in the organization. We're talking about all the employees maintaining that log. So using something like this, like a technology that actually automatically, tracks who they are meeting, when they are meeting, for how long they are meeting, will help employers to identify quickly who are endangered with that one infected person,
Mhm.
if at all there is one. So
I want to
having
throw I
something
want to
like
throw one more question to follow on to that. How
yeah.
do you think employees are going to feel with this new level of tracking? And I understand why. It's for their own health, it's for the company's liability, but how comfortable do you think employees are going to be?
Right, that's a great question, because there are a lot of privacy concerns around these contact tracing apps, how much data they're collecting, are they collecting any personal identifiable information, any personal health information, and all that. So I think with the use of technology, we can avoid collecting all of that personal data. So for example, this platform that we are talking about, virtual PPE, it really doesn't collect any personal information other than their mobile number. So all it does is it aggregates the symptoms and it actually provides some scores, and the employers will not actually see what symptoms they have and where they were at what point of time. But in the event somebody is really positive, that's when they will be able to do on-demand contact tracing to identify who all got impacted. But they won't know, you know, who they are, where they are by in general actually. So I think with that setup, I think we can alleviate any concerns around this privacy.
All right, Gopal, thank you so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.